young dancer gave a hoop. And I'll tell you a short story. One of our judges, her father is Dallas Chief Eagle, and he's from South Dakota. And Dallas had come here for maybe 10, 12 years as a contestant. And now his daughter is here as a judge. And after the hoop championships one year, we were driving back north to Tuba City, north of Flagstaff. And as we came over the mountain from Flagstaff over the summit, we were driving down the summit and we met another vehicle with South Dakota plates. And as we caught up to them and we were passing, I looked over and it was Dallas Chief Eagle with his family. And his daughter might have been a little child then. She's judging today. But Dallas, we looked at each other, we nodded, and I pointed ahead and I turned my hand to the right. You know, we're gonna go that way. And he nodded and he signaled back, he says, I'll follow you in sign language. So we came on up the highway, and this side of Tuba City, there's a place called Dinosaur Tracks. And there are the footprints of dinosaurs, and it's encased in stone. And so it's kind of a tourist stop for a lot of tourists. There's signs that say Dinosaur Tracks. And they pour water in the tracks so you can see the water will darken the sandstone. You can see those dinosaur tracks. Well, we pulled off and I told him, I said, you want to see dinosaur tracks from a long time ago? He says, yeah. So we went over there with his family and our family. We had our granddaughter with us, and they looked at the dinosaur tracks. And Dallas Chief Eagle, he looks at me, he says, is it okay if I talk to your granddaughter and share a traditional teaching? I said, sure. A lot of respect for Dallas Chief Eagle. So Dallas went, he got one of his hoops, and he came back to where we were standing near the dinosaur tracks. And I called my granddaughter over, and she was maybe 7 years old. And Dallas, he introduced himself to our granddaughter, and he held that hoop. He held it flat like this. And he said, there are teachings with this hoop. And he asked our granddaughter, he says, turn to the west, turn to the east. So our granddaughter turned to the east and she was looking. He says, what do you see? And she kept looking and she didn't know what to say. She could see the mesas, the desert, part of Curly Valley. She could see the valley, but she didn't know what to say. And she just kept quiet. So Dallas Chief Eagle says, okay, turn to the north. She turned to the north. He said, what do you see? And she was quiet. He waited. Then he says, turn to the west. She turned to the west. He said, what do you see? Our granddaughter was quiet. Now he said, turn to the south. So she turned to the south toward the sacred mountains there, right next to Flagstaff. He said, what do you see? And our granddaughter was quiet. And then he said, okay, turn all the way around again and look again. What do you see? So she turned around. He said, what do you see? She says, I don't know. He said, you see a hoop. You can turn in any direction and there's a hoop. And sometimes that hoop goes up for a butte or goes down for a valley or it goes out into the desert. And everywhere you turn, you can see the horizon. You look to the south and there's the mountains. That horizon is part of the hoop. He said, in life, sometimes it's not even and level. life can be kind of go up and down. It can go in a valley, it can go up on top of a mountain. It's still part of the hoop. And he says, do you see what I mean? And our granddaughter says, yes. He said, so as you live your life, everywhere you go, if you want to see the hoop, face all four directions and look, you'll see the hoop. Now you think about it, those of us right here in this amphitheater, we start with the east. You see the roof of the building here at the museum. Come around to the north, you see the canopies, the tent canopies in the parking lot. The hoop goes up and down, goes straight up a little bit and goes level. You can still see a hoop. And so no matter where we are, life may be up and down for you. We hope you can see the hoop, because in that hoop is life. The hoop dance tells us that life is precious, and life with the hoop is good medicine. And so you may not have a hoop you can carry around with you, but you have the horizon every direction, and it's a good teaching. You're not alone. We have in our culture kinship. Another name for kinship is family. All hoop dance fans, you are now family. So wherever you go, you're not alone. Now, if your hoop dance family's not with you, look at the horizon. You're not alone. Daneho.
Oh.